If you get to decide right now that your goal is inner peace and that that is what you want, what no longer gets to come? Like, what no longer comes along for the ride with you? What are you having to leave behind? What do you have to sacrifice? Remember, to sacrifice simply means to let go of something of a lower energy in order to receive something of a higher energy. I was just talking to a client about this, and actually, there is no sacrifice, but I was just talking to a client about this, something similar, about how we tend to stay in the familiar, right? Like, we are afraid, our brain and body and mind, it wants to keep us feeling how we're feeling. That's why when we're feeling bad or feeling anxious, like, we remember things from our past that make us feel bad and make us feel anxious. And then we think about things in the future that make us feel bad and feel anxious. I mean, they say depression's living in the past, anxiety is fear about the future, but whatever. All of it is within time, right? And when we are in a certain mood, when we're in a certain state, we remember the past and the future from that state. So what I was saying about my client is we tend to stay in what's familiar, even if what's familiar sucks, like even if it's not really what we want, because the uncertainty feels scary, right? To go into the unknown, to allow, to surrender, all of that feels kind of scary, because we were talking about the difference between allow and surrender too, but all that feels kind of scary because it's unknown. There was a book I read, Mind Over Medicine, Mood, something like that. I have the book, but she talks about how we believe that uncertainty is unsafe, and what we want to do is change that belief to uncertainty is a gateway to possibility. Uncertainty is a gateway to possibility. We want our energy to be up instead of down. So I'll talk more about what I mean by that, about we want our energy to go up instead of down, because it's really important and really good. So we'll get back to that. I have too much to say and it's all coming out at once. Let's go back to what can no longer come with us. Like, if we want inner peace, if that's our goal, we have decided, we know for sure this is what we want, what can no longer come with us? I was watching Pam Gregory, the wonderful astrologer, and she was talking about a dream she had recently where she was getting on an airplane to go somewhere, and she couldn't find her luggage. And in the dream, she said she relaxed and was like, I don't need it. Like, I'll be okay without it. And she said it was very symbolic for our times that we're in right now, because there's things that we cannot bring with us forward, right? There are things that we cannot bring with us forward. What is it? Like, if you really want peace, or however it is that you want to feel, like whatever internal state you want, what just simply doesn't go with that? What can you not bring with you? So A Course in Miracles says that heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds. This is from lesson 133. I will not value what is valueless. Let's not value what is valueless. Let's not value guilt. Let's not value fear. Let's not value anxiety. If we are feeling those ways, it means there's where our values lie. They have overtaken us. Let's not value what is valueless. Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds. Think about this. Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds. And when I was saying, like, we want our energy to go up, I think of this, this is what I read, this quote, and I thought of that. We want our energy to go up. Open hands. Think about it in yoga. Like, you have put your hands up because they want your shoulders back, hands up. Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds. It means we have to let go of these things, these thought patterns, these, like, how we think it is in reality. We want our energy to go up. So I just made a mini course on how to break free from anxious thought loops, And I talk in the course about how anxious thought loops. So we know, if you know what an anxious thought loop is. So these are things that keep us connected to guilt, keep us connected to overwhelm, keep us connected to fear, keep us connected to anxiety. These are things that actually, well, I talk about this in the course too, is that we try to, like, fix the outside world, right? We try to, like, control the things around us, thinking that's going to fix it, and it doesn't. But so if we think about anxious thought loops, the way I just think of it as, that's making our energy go down, right? When we think, it's like anxious thought loops get us stuck, and it's like we think things are bad, and that's the reality, right? So when we're in these loops, the energy, it's very concrete. It's like all or nothing, right? It's like certainty about the future. The future is bad, right? That is energy going down. It's making things more matter. They say when you meditate, you become less like matter and more like spirit. I mean, I really do believe right now that this world, like, I listen to a lot of spiritual teachings about New Earth and the shifts that we're going through right now. And I really do believe we are realizing, I mean, science is showing this, that reality is more malleable than we ever thought. Manifestation is becoming quite easier. So like, I mean, in certain ways, and I think in certain ways it's seeming like it's harder, but in many ways, I feel like we are seeing our internal state reflected in our reality quicker, which kind of means this this is important. That means that inner peace is really more important than ever. I mean, that's not meant to freak anyone out or anything, but it's about to just wake up and know your power. Like, right? We're waking up. I talk about this in the course too, where when we break free from anxious thought loops, it's almost like we're waking up from a nightmare, right? We're waking up. And so down energy is like, yes, I know it. I know the future and it's bad. Up energy is more like hope, limitless possibilities. You know, I talk about zooming out, like this is not what we are here for. A Course in Miracles literally says, well, the Beatles say this too, but A Course in Miracles literally says God's will for us is perfect happiness. Like I talk about this in the course too. Insta Karma, the John Lennon song. Why are we here? Surely not to live in pain and fear. Like we're not. That is not what we are here for. We're not meant to be stuck in anxious thought loops, right? We are not meant to be stuck in fear. That is not why we are here. So kind of like zooming out and knowing that, and that, like A Course in Miracles talks about, help me to see this through the eyes of love instead of fear, right? It's putting, we might not know how, we might not know what, but we are putting our energy up, and up energy feels like limitless possibilities. It feels like hope. It feels like maybe I don't know. It feels like allowing the good, right? Allowing the good. Maybe we don't know exactly how it's supposed to be or how it's supposed to go, but we allow the good. We allow God. We move onward to the certainty of God. I think I say that every video at this point. We move onward to the certainty of God. So if you're at the airport, you're going on this trip, like on Pam Gregory's dream, what is your luggage that you are just going to leave behind? What just gets to keep going on the conveyor belt? You're not going to pick it up. You don't need it anymore. What are you leaving? Okay, so I'll give you some examples of things you could be leaving behind. This is the first thing that came to me was chronic guilt. I cannot bring chronic guilt with me into the future that I want. I cannot bring chronic guilt. Some other examples. Doom scrolling. We cannot bring doom scrolling with us. Self-abandonment. I'm not bringing fawning with me into my future of peace. If I have inner peace, how could I be fawning and people pleasing? Remember, fawning is a trauma response. We have fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. We cannot bring fawning with us. Self-abandonment, hypervigilance, emotional performance, fear-based identity, resentment, the belief that joy is dangerous, the belief that choosing yourself that you'll somehow be punished later in life if you choose yourself, the belief that rest must be earned. Add what right below, what is it that you are not bringing with you into the future? What cannot come with you into your future? What nightmare are you willing to wake up from, even if it's become almost comfortable, even if the pain has become familiar? What are you ready to wake up from and to go into the unknown? Going into the unknown, but with trust and with certainty that the future is good, that we move onwards to the certainty of God, and it might not be what we think. So let's empty our hands and open our minds into that future. We move onward to the certainty of God with empty hands and open minds. Remember, heaven is a state that is available to us right now, but we need to empty our hands, open our minds. Let's move onward to the certainty of God. So if you want to wake up from the nightmare of anxious thought loops, please join my course. I'm going to post it below. It's really good. I just published it. It's 50 minutes long. It comes with a handout. I feel like it's like a session with me. It's only $37, by the way. So it's like a $37 50-minute session with me where we sit down and we work through breaking free from these anxious thought loops. It's 6 steps that I walk through, and it comes with a handout. Like I said, it's really good. So it's worth your money. $37 if you don't want to see me individually. This course is a good start. So it's called I started with how to stop anxious thought loops, but we changed it to break free from anxious thought loops, a gentle, slightly spiritual approach to overthinking guilt and emotional overwhelm. A gentle, slightly spiritual approach to overthinking guilt and emotional overwhelm. I mean, I had to put slightly spiritual because that is just who I am. I talk about spirituality. But this course combines everything I know from being a psychotherapist about nervous system work. I talk about real life examples, and I always like sprinkle in a little bit Course in Miracles there too, because this is not what we are. I'm knocking things over, because that is not what we are here for, right? I mean, I think we need to have that belief. We need some guidance too, right? Like, we are not here to live in fear. We are not here to live in anxious thought loops. Like, we need to start there. There are forces in this world that are just begging for our attention and keeping us stuck in these loops, and we want to move beyond them. What is waiting for you on the other side? What is waiting for you on the other side of your fear, of anxious thought loops, of fawning, of people pleasing? Like, what could possibly be waiting for you? We need to be regulating our nervous systems and creating right now. Okay, I don't mean to be like going off on a preachy tangent here, but I'm feeling very strongly about this, and I'm super excited about the course. So I hope to see you there. I will put the link for it below. Peace and love, and I will talk to you soon.